The Boy Who Loved Clouds. Hello, sleepy people. Close your eyes and listen. This is a story about love and drama and a very clumsy boy. Our story begins in a small, quiet town. A town so quiet that the biggest event of the week was a new flavor of ice cream at the local shop. Very exciting, I know. In this town lived a young man named Leo. Leo was a dreamer. He didn't like sports. He didn't like loud parties. His favorite hobby was looking at the clouds. Yes, clouds. He could lie on the grass for hours and look at the sky. That cloud looks like a rabbit, he thought, and that one looks like a giant potato. Very deep thoughts. He was a little bit in love with the sky. But the sky is a terrible girlfriend. It never answers your messages. It just rains on you sometimes. One perfectly normal Tuesday, Leo was doing his favorite thing. He was in the park, looking at a cloud that looked like a sleepy elephant. And then it happened. He didn't see the girl. He was walking backwards to get a better view of the elephant cloud. And bam! He walked right into her. It was a beautiful, dramatic, and very clumsy accident. Books and papers flew into the air like confused birds. Leo fell on the grass. The girl almost fell, but she didn't. She was very graceful. Unlike Leo. "I am so sorry," Leo said, his face red like a tomato. I was looking at the clouds." The girl looked at him. She had eyes the color of the sky he loved so much. She wasn't angry. She looked amused. A little smile played on her lips. "A cloud?" she asked. "Was it a good one?" "It was an elephant," Leo said, feeling very stupid. "A sleepy elephant?" The girl laughed. It was a nice sound, like little bells. "Well," she said, "I hope I didn't scare it away." Her name was Sophia. She was new in town, and she wasn't carrying books about clouds. She was carrying a big book about the history of ancient Rome, much more serious than a potato cloud. He helped her collect her things. His hands were shaking. Her hands were calm. For a moment, they just stood there, the dreamer and the serious girl with sky eyes. It was a perfect, romantic moment. Then a pigeon pooped on Leo's shoulder. Ah, yes, real life, so romantic. Sophia tried not to laugh. She failed. "It seemed," she said, "that the sky is talking to you today." Leo was embarrassed, but he also smiled. Maybe the sky wasn't a terrible girlfriend after all. Maybe it was just a very ironic matchmaker. He didn't know it yet, but this was the beginning of a very big drama. A drama much more interesting than a new flavor of ice cream. But that is a story for next time. For now, just imagine the clouds, a sleepy elephant, and a boy with a very lucky accident on his shoulder. Sleep well. The Book and the Biscuits. Hello again, sleepy friends. Let your mind drift back to that quiet park. And to Leo, who now had a little piece of the sky on his jacket. So there they were, Leo, with his new unfortunate decoration. And Sophia, trying very hard to be polite and not look at it. "Well," Sophia said, her voice warm like honey, "that was an interesting introduction." Leo wanted the grass to open and swallow him, but it didn't. The grass was not helpful that day. "I think I should go and change," he mumbled, looking at his shoulder. But Sophia surprised him. "Don't be silly," she said. "There's a cafe just across the street. My treat, as a thank you for the excitement." She smiled. It was a real smile this time, not just an amused one. Leo's heart did a little jump. It was not a cloud-like jump. It was a loud, dramatic jump. Thump. The cafe was called the Sleepy Cat. It was a good name. A very old, very fat cat was sleeping in the window. It didn't care about love or drama. It only cared about dreams. Leo was a little jealous. They sat down. Leo carefully took off his jacket. So Miss Sophia began, stirring her tea. You are a cloud expert. It's a serious job, Leo said, feeling a little more brave. Someone has to name the shapes. Today I saw a rabbit, a potato, and an elephant. A very productive day. Sophia nodded, her face serious, but her eyes were laughing. I was studying the Roman Empire. It's less peaceful, but also full of drama. Fewer potatoes, though. They talked and talked. Leo talked about the quiet joy of a sunny day. Sophia talked about loud emperors and old stones. It shouldn't have worked. A boy who loves the quiet sky and a girl who loves loud, ancient history. It was a strange, funny puzzle, but it did work. Leo discovered that Sophia's seriousness was like a shell. Inside, she was funny and kind. She discovered that Leo's dreaminess wasn't lazy. He saw magic in ordinary things, like the way the steam from their tea danced in the air. It looks like a little cloud, he said, pointing to his cup. Sophia looked. She said. I think it looks more like the ghost of a very small, thirsty Roman soldier. Leo laughed. He had never met anyone like her. Time, which usually moved as slowly as the sleepy cat in the window, suddenly ran very fast. An hour felt like a minute. Finally, Sophia looked at her watch. Oh, I need to go? My aunt will think I got lost. She stood up and picked up her big book about Rome. Leo stood up too. His heart was doing that thump-thump thing again. He wanted to see her again. He needed to see her again. The thought was terrifying. Sophia, he started. His brain was empty. No clouds, no potatoes, just panic. Yes, Leo? She asked. She was waiting. She looked hopeful. The sky? He stammered. Then he had an idea, a brilliant, stupid idea. The sky? Tomorrow. They say the clouds will be very good. Special clouds. Maybe soon we could look at them together. He closed his eyes. It was the worst invitation in the history of invitations. Sophia was silent for a moment. Leo was sure she would say no. He imagined her saying, Sorry, I have to watch the paint dry on my wall. It's more interesting. But instead she said, What kind of special clouds? I don't know, Leo admitted, opening his eyes. Maybe a giraffe or a big teacup? Sophia's smile returned. It was a sunny, warm smile. A big teacup cloud sounds very important. I can't miss that. Okay, tomorrow, same park. She turned and left. The door of the cafe closed with a soft ting. Leo stood there, alone with the sleeping cat. He felt light, happy. He had a date to look at the sky. Then he remembered his jacket. He looked at the spot on his shoulder, the ironic little gift from the pigeon, and for the first time in his life, Leo was happy that a bird pooped on him. Sometimes the universe has a very strange sense of humor, and sometimes it leads you to a girl with eyes the color of the sky, who thinks steam looks like the ghost of a Roman soldier. But for now, just imagine the steam, dancing, from a warm cup of tea, becoming a cloud, becoming a ghost, slowly fading away. Let the story fade with it. Sleep well. The giraffe that wasn't there. Hello, sleepy listeners. Let your thoughts drift back to Leo, who did not sleep well that night. His mind was too full of clouds and a girl named Sophia. The next day, Leo arrived at the park very, very early. He was nervous. He looked at the sky. It was a nice blue sky with some friendly white clouds. But there was a problem. None of the clouds looked like a teacup or a giraffe. They just looked like normal clouds. This was a disaster. He promised special clouds. He felt like a fraud, a cloud fraud. He waited. His hands were in his pockets. He practiced clever things to say. Ah, yes, Sophia. You see that cumulus formation there? Very cloud-like. It was terrible. Then he saw her. She was walking across the grass, carrying 2 cups. She was real. And she brought tea. Hello, cloud expert, she said. Her smile was better than any sunrise. I brought us something warm, in case the clouds are not exciting enough. There was that irony again. She knew. Leo's nervousness melted away just a little. Thank you, he said, taking the cup. And the clouds are shy today. They are beautiful, Sophia said simply. She sat on the grass, not caring about her clothes. Leo sat next to her. They drank their tea in a comfortable silence. It wasn't awkward. It was peaceful. The sleepy cat from the cafe would approve. Summer, Sophia said after a while. Point to a cloud, any cloud, and tell me what it is. This was a test. Leo looked up. He pointed to a long, thin cloud. His mind was empty. That one is obviously a snake, Sophia suggested. No, Leo said too quickly. It's a noodle, a very long noodle from a giant's soup. Sophia laughed her bell-like laugh. Of course, how silly of me. And that one. She pointed to a small, fluffy cloud. That is a sheep, but not a normal sheep. A sheep that is lost and very confused about how it got into the sky. I see it, Sophia said. It does look confused. Poor thing. And so they continued. Leo named the clouds. A teacup that was broken. A sleeping dragon that was just a nose. A flower that forgot its stem. Sophia didn't just agree, she added to the stories. She was the serious history student, but she loved his silly game. Leo wasn't a fraud. He was an artist, and the sky was his silly, changing painting. After an hour, the tea was gone. Sophia looked at Leo, her sky eyes serious. Leo, she said, this was the best cloud watching of my life, even without a giraffe. For Leo, the world stopped. The clouds stopped moving. The birds stopped singing. It was the nicest thing anyone had ever said to him. Maybe, he said, his voice quiet. Maybe we can do it again? We don't need a special cloud forecast. Sophia's smile was his answer. I would like that, she said. But next time I choose the activity, I will show you something old and full of drama. The end.